Native American people lived across North America for thousands of years before Europeans arrived. During this long time they shared the land with many large and dangerous animals. In the forests they lived near black bears and wolves. In the mountains they lived near grizzly bears and mountain lions. In the south near rivers and swamps. They lived near alligators and poisonous snakes. These animals were strong, fast and dangerous. But Native American tribes did not disappear. They lived, grew and built strong communities for thousands of years. This is the story of how they survived. The first and most important tool Native Americans had was knowledge. They did not have guns or metal armor. What they had was deep understanding of the animals around them. Elders in each tribe taught children about the habits of every dangerous animal in their land. They taught them where bears liked to sleep, when wolves hunted in packs, and how mountain lions liked to attack from above from rocks or trees. This knowledge was passed down through stories, songs and direct teaching. A child in a Native American tribe learned about predators the same way a child today learns to read and write. It was part of growing up. Because they knew the habits of these animals, Native Americans could avoid danger before it even started. They knew which trails animals used to reach water. They knew which seasons made animals more aggressive, such as when bears were hungry before winter, or when mother animals were protecting their babies. Tribes moved their camps and hunting paths based on this knowledge. If a certain valley had many fresh bear tracks, they simply avoided walking through it at night. This was not about being brave. It was about being smart. Avoiding danger was always better than fighting it. Weapons were also very important. Native Americans made bows and arrows from wood, animal sinew and stone or bone tips. A skilled hunter could shoot an arrow with enough force to wound or kill a deer. And in a real emergency, even to hurt a bear or wolf enough to drive it away. They also carried spears, which were useful for close encounters, because a spear could keep a dangerous animal at a distance. Some tribes made clubs from hard wood or stone, used for close combat if an animal got too near. These weapons were not just for hunting food. They were also tools of protection against predators. Fire played a huge role in keeping predators away. Almost every dangerous animal is naturally afraid of fire. Native American camps almost always had a fire burning at night. The light of the fire let people see any animal approaching from far away. And the heat and smell of smoke kept most predators from coming close. Some tribes also used fire in a more advanced way. They set small controlled fires to clear brush and grass around their camps. This removed hiding spots where predators could sneak up unseen. A camp surrounded by open burned land was much safer than one surrounded by thick bushes. Dogs were another important tool for survival. Native Americans kept dogs for many purposes. And one major purpose was protection. Dogs have a much better sense of smell and hearing than humans. A dog could smell or hear an approaching wolf or bear long before a human noticed anything. Dogs would bark and warn the camp, giving people time to prepare or move to safety. In many tribes, dogs slept near the edges of camp, acting like a living alarm system through the night. Shelter design also helped protect people from predators. Tribes that lived on the plains, like many groups who followed buffalo herds, built teepees. Teepees were made from wooden poles covered with animal hide. They could be built and taken down quickly, which meant a tribe could move away fast if an area became dangerous. Other tribes, especially in the Northeast, built longhouses. These were bigger, sturdier homes made from wood and bark, built close together in a village. The strength of a longhouse, and the fact that many families lived side by side, made it harder for predators to reach any one person alone. Choosing where to build a camp was also a skill. Tribes often picked spots on slightly higher ground, near water but not directly on the water's edge. Since predators often traveled along riverbanks and lockshores looking for prey, hunting was not something people did alone very often. Especially when hunting large or dangerous animals. Groups of hunters worked together, communicating with hand signals, calls and planned strategies. On the Great Plains some tribes used a method called a buffalo jump, where large groups of hunters worked together to guide herds of buffalo toward a cliff. This method fed the whole tribe for a long time, and reduced the need for dangerous one-on-one hunting. Group hunting also meant that if a predator, such as a wolf pack, tried to steal from a kill or attack a hunter, there were many people nearby to respond quickly and drive the animal away. Warriors and scouts also had a direct role in keeping camps safe. Young, strong members of the tribe were often given the job of watching the land around the camp. They would patrol the edges of the village, especially at dawn and dusk, which are the times when many predators are most active. If a scout spotted a dangerous animal near the camp, they would alert everyone using a call, a horn or a signal fire. This early warning system gave the whole tribe time to gather weapons, protect children and elders, and prepare a group response if needed. Spiritual beliefs also shaped how Native Americans dealt with predators. Many tribes saw animals, even dangerous ones like bears and wolves, as spiritual beings worthy of respect. Hunters often prayed before a hunt, and gave thanks after killing an animal for food. This was not just a religious act. It also shaped behavior in a practical way. Tribes usually killed only what they needed, and avoided needless killing of predators. Because of this they did not hunt bears or wolves into extinction, the way later settlers sometimes did. Instead, many tribes tried to live alongside these animals, understanding their patterns and staying out of their way, rather than trying to remove them completely from the land. Some tribes also used sound as a defense. Loud noises such as shouting, banging sticks together or shaking rattles could scare away many predators. Large predators like wolves and mountain lions generally avoid unnecessary danger, since an injury could make it hard for them to hunt in the future. A group of humans making loud coordinated noise looked like too much trouble for many predators, who would rather search for an easier meal elsewhere. This is very similar to how early humans everywhere in the world used group behavior to appear more dangerous than they really were. Medicine was another part of survival. Even with all these precautions, injuries from animal encounters sometimes happened. Native American healers had deep knowledge of local plants and natural remedies. They used certain plants to clean wounds, stop bleeding and reduce infection. This medical knowledge meant that an injury from a predator attack, which could easily be deadly without proper care, had a better chance of healing. Healers were respected members of the tribe, and their knowledge, like hunting knowledge, was passed down carefully from one generation to the next. Children were trained from a very young age to understand and respect the dangers around them. They were taught to recognize animal tracks, animal sounds and warning signs in nature. They learned which plants were safe and which were dangerous. And they learned basic defense skills as they grew older. By the time a person became an adult in the tribe, they already had years of practical survival knowledge. This meant that almost every member of the tribe, not just the strongest hunters, understood how to react safely if they came across a predator. Trade and communication between different tribes also helped spread survival knowledge across large areas. When tribes met for trade or ceremonies, they often shared information about dangerous animals in different regions. A tribe traveling into new territory could learn from local tribes about which predators lived there, and how to stay safe. This exchange of knowledge meant that survival information was not limited to just one tribe's experience. It grew and spread across a much wider network of people, making the overall Native American population more prepared to handle a wide range of predators across many different environments. Different regions also called for different survival methods, since predators were not the same everywhere. In the cold north, tribes dealt with wolves that hunted in large organized packs. These wolves were smart and patient, often following a group of travelers for a long distance before attacking. Northern tribes learned to travel in tight groups, especially when moving through open snow where there was little cover. They also learned to read wolf behavior closely, noticing when a pack was simply curious, and when it was preparing to attack. In the southeast near swamps and rivers, tribes had to be careful of alligators. These animals could hide almost completely underwater, showing only their eyes above the surface. People living in these areas learned never to stand too close to still water, and they taught children from a young age to check the water carefully before fishing, swimming or filling containers. In the western mountains, mountain lions were the biggest danger. These animals were skilled at hiding on high rocks and attacking from above without warning. Tribes in mountain regions avoided walking directly under overhanging rocks or thick tree branches whenever possible, since this was where a mountain lion was most likely to strike from. Storytelling was also a powerful survival tool, even though it may not seem like a weapon or shield. Around the fire at night, elders told stories about past encounters with bears, wolves and other dangerous animals. These stories were not just for entertainment. Each story usually held a lesson inside it, such as what a hunter did wrong before an attack, or what smart choice saved someone's life. By repeating these stories again and again, tribes made sure that important lessons were never forgotten, even by people who had never faced that danger themselves. In this way, one person's real experience with a predator could protect hundreds of people in future generations, simply through the power of a well-remembered story. In the end, Native Americans survived dangerous predators, not through brute strength, but through intelligence, teamwork and respect for nature. They studied the animals around them. Instead of blindly fighting them, they used fire weapons, dogs, and smart shelter choices to reduce risk. They worked together in groups, since a group was always safer than a single person. They passed down knowledge through generations, so that each new generation started with more information than the last. And they built a relationship with the land and its animals, based on respect rather than fear alone. This combination of practical skill and deep understanding allowed Native American communities to live safely alongside grizzly bears, wolves, mountain lions, alligators, and many other predators for thousands of years, long before any modern tools or weapons existed.